Stop what you're doing and look at the camera currently sitting in your gear bag. Because if you're a Canon shooter, specifically an APS-C enthusiast who has been waiting for a reason to stay loyal, everything you thought you knew about crop sensor limitations is about to be deleted from the record. For years, the industry has looked at APS-C as the budget option, the entry-level gatekeeper, or the hobbyist compromise. But the data we've been tracking for the upcoming Canon EOS R7 Mark II suggests those days are officially over. This isn't just a mid-cycle refresh. This isn't a Mark II in name only. This is a hostile takeover of the professional camera market. We've spent weeks cross-referencing global shipping manifests, FCC registration codes, and high-level whispers from the testing circuits in Japan to bring you the cold, hard truth. The R7 Mark II is coming, and it's carrying a set of specs that should make full-frame owners very, very nervous. Welcome back to Tech Vibe. Today, we aren't just looking at a new camera body, we're looking at a paradigm shift. We're pulling back the curtain on the baby R1 that is about to disrupt the entire industry. Let's get straight to the throat of the biggest issue with the original R7, the sensor architecture. The first R7 was a massive hit, but it carried a dirty little secret that frustrated every serious sports and wildlife photographer rolling shutter. If you tried to pan across a fast-moving bird or track a car on a racetrack, the readout speed just couldn't keep up. Your straight lines turned into jelly, and your frozen action looked like a distorted mess. Canon heard the outcry, and they've responded with a sledgehammer. The Mark II is confirmed to be rocking a brand new 39-megapixel BSI Stacked CMOS sensor. Now, I want you to understand why the word stacked is the most important word in this entire script. This isn't just about adding more pixels, it's about the physics of speed. A stacked sensor has its own dedicated memory layer built directly onto the back of the silicon. This allows the camera to read the entire image almost instantaneously. We are talking about readout speeds that rival the flagship R3 and the upcoming R1. This effectively kills rolling shutter. It means the electronic shutter, capable of a staggering 40 frames per second, isn't just a gimmick anymore. It becomes your primary weapon. Imagine shooting a hawk diving at 80 miles per hour and every single feather is tack sharp, every line is straight, and you have 39 megapixels of resolution to crop into. This level of performance used to cost $6,000. Now, it's coming to the R7 series. But a fast sensor is only as good as the brain behind it. This is where the R7 Mark II separates the professionals from the pretenders. According to internal leaks, this body is inheriting the Digic Accelerator coprocessor. This is the same secondary engine found in the R1. This isn't for faster menus or better battery life, though those are nice side effects. This is for pure, unadulterated AI power. We are moving into the era of neural network autofocus. This system doesn't just recognize a person or an animal. It has been trained on millions of images to understand human skeletal structure and animal behavior. We've seen reports that this AF system can actually predict where a subject is going to be before they move. If a soccer player turns their back to you or a bird flies behind a branch, the R7 Mark II won't hunt. It knows where the eye should be, and it waits for the millisecond it reappears. This isn't just sticky autofocus, it's clairvoyant autofocus. For a wildlife photographer sitting in a blind for 6 hours waiting for one shot, this is the difference between a portfolio-grade image and a blurry disappointment. Now, let's talk about the feel of this machine, because the ergonomics on the original R7 were, let's be honest, they were a bit of an identity crisis. The weird knuckle-buster scroll wheel around the joystick was a love-it-or-hate-it design choice, and the consensus from the pro community was a resounding no thank you. Canon has clearly been listening. The leaked chassis designs for the Mark II show a complete return to professional logic. The body has been slightly bulked up, adopting a footprint more akin to the R6 Mark II. The joystick and the rear command dial have migrated back to their North Star positions, exactly where your muscle memory expects them to be. It feels less like a consumer electronic and more like a ruggedized tool. But the increased size isn't just for comfort, it's for survival. The Mark II features a completely overhauled internal thermal management system. One of the biggest complaints about high-end hybrid cameras is the thermometer of death popping up after 20 minutes of 4K recording. The R7 Mark II uses a new magnesium alloy heatsink that draws temperature away from the sensor and the processors, allowing for virtually unlimited recording times in most environments. This is a camera built for the long haul. Speaking of recording, let's talk about the video specs, because this is where the Baby R5 nickname really starts to make sense. The rumors of internal 8K 30p recording are no longer just wishful thinking, they are a mathematical reality based on the sensor's 39-megapixel resolution. Now, I know what some of you are saying, I don't need 8K, I don't even have an 8K monitor. But you're missing the point. 8K on a crop sensor is the ultimate cheat code for wildlife and documentary filmmakers. It gives you the ability to punch in 200% on a 4K timeline without losing a single drop of native detail. It turns your 400mm lens into an 800mm lens with the click of a button in post-production. And for those who prefer the 4K workflow, the Mark II is delivering oversampled 4K at 60p and even 120p with zero crop. This is the cleanest, sharpest video file we've ever seen from an APS-C sensor. Pair that with an improved in-body image stabilization system that is targeting a massive 8.5 stops of compensation, and you can officially retire your gimbal. The synergy between the new Euro sensors and the AI-driven OIS makes handheld footage look like it was shot on a Hollywood rail system. One of the most significant professional upgrades is hidden behind the memory card door. In a move that signals Canon is finally taking the 7 series seriously as a pro platform, they've ditched the dual SD card setup. In its place, we are getting a high-speed CF Express Type B slot alongside a UHS-2 SD slot. This is a massive vibe shift. It means the camera can finally keep up with its own heart. When you're firing off 40 frames per second in RAW, or recording high bitrate 8K video, an SD card is a bottleneck. It's like putting budget tires on a Ferrari. The CF Express slot ensures that your buffer clears almost instantly. You can hammer that shutter button for a 5-second burst, and by the time you look down, the camera is ready for the next one. No more busy lights, no more missed action. This is the workflow of a flagship camera, shrunk down into a body you can actually carry all day. Let's address the elephant in the room, the price. We have to be realistic here. Quality like this, stacked sensors, flagship processors, and 8K video doesn't come cheap. The original R7 launched at a very aggressive $1,499, which made it the people's champion. But the R7 Mark II is moving into a different weight class. Current market analysis and supply chain leaks suggest a launch price in the $1,999 to $2,299 range for the body only. I know that sounds like a steep climb, but let's put it into perspective. To get these exact same specs in a full-frame body, you would be looking at the R5 Mark II or the R3, which will cost you anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. For the sports shooter or the birder who actually prefers the 1.6x crop factor because it gives their lenses more reach, the R7 Mark II is essentially a 50% discount on a professional flagship. It is a premium price for a premium tool, and in the current economy, it might actually be the smartest investment in the Canon lineup. When can you actually get your hands on one? The registration codes in the international regulatory databases point toward a Q2 2026 announcement. We are looking at a late May or early June reveal, likely timed to coincide with summer sporting events. Canon wants their pros using this gear when the eyes of the world are on them. If you're planning an upgrade, start your gear fund now, because the demand for this camera is expected to be unprecedented. The Canon EOS R7 Mark II isn't just a camera, it's a statement of intent. It proves that Canon is no longer holding back its best tech to protect its full-frame sales. They are meeting the market head-on with a giant killer. We've worked hard to verify these details to ensure you have an authentic look at the future of the R.F. mount. If you're excited for the R7 Mark II, hit that like button and subscribe to Tech Vibe. It's the best way to support us and ensure you don't miss our upcoming deep dive comparisons. We want to hear from you in the comments. Is the jump to a stacked sensor worth the higher price tag for you? I'll be down there responding to as many of you as possible. Thanks for watching, stay creative, and we'll see you in the very next video.